just realized, man, it's really not going to change much. And, I have 4 kids, and I was starting to become a nuisance walking around. My wife was so tired of hearing my political viewpoint, I was spending like 6 or 7 hours between reading and news, and I'm like, and you know what? My vote in New York means less than the guy who's never read the paper in Ohio.
Just spouting.
So, once you realize that you don't even like being around yourself, you guys remember my political years on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not so much.
Well, no, into it from time to time.
Yeah. You know what
I've gotten into it.
There's a frustration out there right now.
Oh, it's big frustration.
There's a frustration in America
People
right now.
are very angry.
And they're like,
I don't like the fact that Obama's pretty much got this new health care thing that is, same as the old one, pretty much. And they're saying they're just going to pass it regardless. They don't give a shit. But they'd like to work with the Republicans, keeping them out of the meetings. That's working with them. And then just using their numbers to pass this through. And watching all of them get thrown the fuck out in November. Like, what is the purpose? I don't understand what the purpose is.
You're trying to drag the political stuff out of me, aren't you?
Yes. It's
let's have a political
so
match.
Presumptuous to just think, hey, everyone wants this, and think that he's alienating people because everyone doesn't want this, and a lot of his cronies are going to be gone in November.
I would say some of the cronies will. If I was Barack, I would have waited until after the midterms. Get a better track record of getting big things accomplished in a bipartisan way.
That just goes to show you he has this But you know what? He thought, I'm going to get this healthcare thing passed. Everyone's going to love it, and the midterms will come, and everyone will vote Democrat, and it's going to be great.
You know what? I think if it had passed through without so much anger, that people would have loved it. And I think if it does get passed, in 10 years from now, people will look back and they'll say, we were fighting against this?
Oh, really?
I believe so.
As they're still trying to pay off over $1 trillion of debt because of it? It's just...
Wait, because of it?
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't. How has it racked up any debt if it hasn't gone into effect yet?
That's the estimate, which of course government estimates are always right on the money.
I know that.
They're never. Oh, literal Jim.
Norton, I need your help on this one here.
Well, he always says this.
He always says this.
Look, this is what I misjudged, and I think he must have misjudged. No. I misjudged.
Oh, okay.
I didn't judge it. Mick Foley misjudged it. I misjudged the anger out there. I saw Obama. I was like, who couldn't like this guy? Like, I could understand why people wouldn't like Hillary Clinton. I thought maybe legislation will get stalled because they have something personal against her. But I was like, who couldn't like this guy? And it turns out a lot of people don't like that guy.
And it's you know what? He seems like a nice enough guy. And to tell you the truth, he does seem sincere when he talks about wanting to maybe help. But there's the cronies he's had surrounding him are very questionable. Nancy Pelosi, I just... Cunt is the only word that comes to mind. I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
C-word?
I'm sorry. I had to
Nick,
drop
I'm really
it.
sorry.
Wow.
I had to drop the C-bomb.
Let me.
I had to.
Let me become a Democratic strategist here for just a moment, okay?
Certainly.
They need 4 years of hard drinking just to erase that latte drinking liberal thing, so that even if Republican, the show you do is on Fox, right? Mm-hmm. So can't you guys imagine just saying those damn whiskey drinking liberals? Like, it's just got a much harsher edge to it
than bedwetting. Yeah.
And a guy like Harry Reid needs to look at himself seriously in the mirror and say, Harry, you are a liberal weenie. Nobody connects with you.
They're too pompous, and they think that this is what everybody wants. And whether you want it or not, we know better. You do want it. Regardless. Oh, the Tea Party people, they're just a few kooks. Oh, this one and that one. And the people that are bitching about tax and spend, they're assholes. We know better. And you know what? They don't. And it's going to cost them a lot in November.
What they need is more guys like Senator Webb. At least I think I have that right.
Yeah,
the guy from
Jim Webb.
Yeah, for Virginia. Like when he gave the response to the State of the Union or some address when Bush was there, that's the type of thing that have conservatives going, "Oh God, we don't want to see that guy in their team," because he's a guy people can relate to,
like a regular, right? Okay.
Like a regular tough guy, Secretary of the Navy, written some novels, which made me partial to him. Because I failed with a few of my own, and I just think, if you had like a redneck coalition going around, like a bull rider and a race car driver, maybe a comedian.
I thought Obama should have picked Webb for his vice president.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah.
Well,
but I think that's the future. I believe that's the future of the party, or possibly, throw 5 or 6 independents into the mix and you erase this partisan gridlock. That's what it is. Gridlock.
It really is, because no one is voting against their party these days.
No,
it is all locked up, and I don't know though. Independent just doesn't. People are so Coke and Pepsi. They don't give RC Cola a chance.
I agree with that. That's why up until a couple of years ago, I was considering a congressional run. And I was going to just walk out there and say, my name is Mick Foley, my best friend's a porn star, and I'm running for Congress.
Nice. Well, some states you can win. And with that platform,
I don't see a wrestler getting elected to any type of a public.
Oops.
Right.
You see Jesse Ventura?
Let me tell you something. Thermite paint took down the towers. It was thermite paint. There were crews in there months before it came down.
You fucking lunatic.
Wait, that's right. You guys, he walked out.
Jimmy kicked his ass.
But
Jimmy Norton beat him up.
But then you say something like, but they couldn't have been crews of that massive size in the towers. People would have noticed. People did notice.
They did.
Oh.
Did you serve? Then I don't want to hear from you. I was a Navy
I served
SEAL.
eggs to fucking 19 hijackers. You idiot. Shut up. I don't care if you come on the show to promote your book. Gives a fuck.
We got to get him back on.
If you walk off, you guys have reached a status to where if there's a public blow up, it's good for somebody's career, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
You're
thinking
about it? Just thinking about it? The fuck off.
It would seem too contrived now, but next time I come on,
Not if you beat up Sam.
Next time I come on, I want to be on Sam's show. Sam does a radio show for free.
Yeah. Oh my God, Sam! I know he does.
Have you heard it? He shouldn't get paid for it.
Hey there, Mick. Patrice O'Neal's on Wendy Williams right now.
That's the guy from Keenan and Kel. What are you talking about?
I'm confused like Mick. I can't tell black guys apart.
Speaking
of Obama, the one thing I want
the baby's father.
The one thing I want to ask you about Obama, does he sound like The Rock or not?
He does sound like The Rock.
Oh,
like
when
a
The Rock
tamed
is
down
soft-spoken rock. Yeah.
I like how he changes just a little bit depending on what part of the country he's in, which I think is a good thing. Can I tell you? I'm going to tell you one cool Obama story I've got, and it involves me dropping all the bad words all at once. Okay,
is it his concession speech in the next election? Because that would be a real cool story.
And I've told this a couple times, so I'll probably go to it again. But I went up there and campaigned during the primary with him and Hillary Clinton in Scranton, which was Hillary country, because that was like an ugly primary,
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go out there. I wanted to do my part. I wanted to do it under the radar because I didn't want the guy losing because of me. I mean, what's the guy? The martial artist who was campaigning. The guy who counted to infinity twice, Chuck Norris.
Oh, right.
Chuck Norris.
Wait, he counted to infinity?
Twice. Twice. Yeah.
Twice.
What is that? What is that?
Don't you know the Chuck Norris bit? Where have you been? My God, Jimmy. He's like, he counted to infinity twice. Did he really? Literal Jim.
All right, before I tell you this, I'm going to tell you the number to call if somebody's interested in this fundraiser for
very
Haiti.
good.
Yes.
908-670-0012. But I thought if Chuck Norris is getting flack, or if Huckabee's getting flack for having a reputable guy like Chuck Norris, certainly I don't want to mess up a candidate's chances just by campaigning for him.
By being like attached to the...
I don't want that on the news. Wow, he's got a wrestler in his corner. So I said, just put me door to door, signing people up, worst, poorest parts, lowest socioeconomic parts of Scranton. Turns out there's some pretty rough places in Scranton.
Do you figure they'd know you there?
You know what? The WWE and TNA can conduct all the polls they want, but my history shows me that the tougher the neighborhood gets, the more well-known and well-liked I am.
Oh,
so
really?
That's just my personal history.
Mick Foley.
So every home, it seemed like, was excited to see me, and then this door opens up at the 15th house, and the girl looks at me, and she goes, "You the nigger that got thrown off the motherfucking cell."
And she was white.
I just look like, one of those Dickens carolers, like, I just had no idea how to react to that. And I finally just said, I've never been called that before.
I'm offended. But yes, I was.